So this video is my top 10 games of 2018. I will be going through all the games that I think deserve top 10 of 2018 that I have played. So coming in at number 10 is... So my number 10 is Spyro Reignited. It is only number 10 because it's a remaster of a game. I don't feel like you can really put it as number one or number two, even though it's probably one of the games I played most this year, because of it being a remaster. But it is 100% worth picking up. You've got 3 games, and the mechanics is just as nice as it felt back on the PS1. It's a game that has aged really, really well. If you haven't played Spyro before, it's a platformer, but it's probably one of the unique platformers back in the time. Seeing as Crash Bandicoot was another one that was quite up there. This is definitely worth the money. Number 9. So number 9 is Call of Duty Black Ops 4. This was quite a shock to me. I thought Call of Duty was dead like most people at the moment, but this is definitely a revise. I thought them taking the campaign out, even though not a lot of people played it, was quite a big thing because it was just another game mode to play, another reason for you to buy the game. But their additions in Blackout, Zombies is just as good as it normally is, and it's just a lot of fun to play with friends. The multiplayer feels like it's back at its greatest again without the double jump and all that. It just feels like old Call of Duty again, and I'm really happy with it so far. Number 8. So coming in at number 8 is Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Again, this was another game I was very not sure about. I thought it was going to be a bit of a disappointment because Assassin's Creed hasn't been on the high roll. Saying that, Assassin's Creed Origins was pretty good. I just wasn't keen on the area it was set in. The storyline though was decent. The only thing I felt about that one is it was really of a grind. This one's still quite a bit of a grind, but it's nowhere near as bad as Origins, and it seems like there's actually a lot of storyline in this game. I haven't played it a lot, that's why it's not any higher than it actually is. But what I've played of it is really good, and the gameplay is really nice. It's nice to see that they're not that fussed about what's happening in Abstergo now. They're more bothered about the history of the assassins and that. But this game definitely deserves a spot in at number 8. Number 7. So coming in at number 7, it's not a surprise to anyone really. It's gonna be in the top 10. Super Smash Bros. It is a really good game. The only reason it's not higher again is because I've not put many hours into it, and it has come out quite recently. But so far what I've played of it, it's really good, and I can't wait to play against friends on it. It's got so many characters in it, and the way that you unlock the characters is by playing the game. So if you want to unlock everything, you are going to have to play the game, which is really nice to not have everything from the start. It means more playability. And the story mode in it, it's not really much of a story, but it's nice to have some different kind of game mode in it. And it is a fantastic game, what I've played of it so far. Number 6. So number 6 is Red Dead Redemption 2. It might be a massive shock to a lot of people because a lot of people do think it deserves higher. In my opinion, it probably does deserve higher. It's just I haven't played the game that much. I haven't really touched it. I don't really know why. I've just not got into it so far. I will go back to it and play through the whole game, and maybe it'll be number 1 after me playing the whole game, but at the moment it is number 6, and it is really good. It's got so many mechanics like poker in it, Everything about the game, really, they've gone really into detail, and I can see why it is rated one of the best games that came out this year. Um, but it's just I haven't got into the game. That's the only reason it's not up there in my top 10. Um, but I haven't played much of the multiplayer so far. Probably gonna wait for it to come out on PC, mainly because most of my friends play on PC. But yeah, the game is a really good game, and if you like these kind of games, I definitely recommend picking it up. It's just, in my opinion, a bit slow compared to like GTA and that. Number 5. So coming in at number 5 is Detroit Become Human. It is probably one of the best story games I've played this year. The only reason I wouldn't rate it at probably top point is because of the game mechanics. It is a very there's not much gameplay. It's more like just flicking the analog stick and tapping a random button. But it does play a really good story through the game, and it did make me think a lot after what if this situation happened in the game. I'm not really gonna go much into the game because I definitely recommend playing through the game if I was you. It's 100% worth a buy. I mean, I bought it when a PlayStation sale was on, so I picked it up for quite cheap, and I probably played through it all in one go. Um, but obviously over a few days because I didn't have the time because of work and other stuff. But I probably will do another playthrough for it because I just want to see what will happen if I pick different things. It's one of those games that you can mess up a character's story if you don't pick a certain situation. It can completely get rid of a character from the start of the game. It is definitely deserved number 5 and maybe even higher, but that's where it falls in, at my opinion. Number 4. So number 4 is FIFA 19. It is probably one of the most annoying games on this list. The reason why it's so high is because of the amount of hours I put into it. I wouldn't say it's a perfect game, it's nowhere near a perfect game, and there are definitely some broken mechanics that they've put in this year, but they do need to fix out, like time finishing. It's so overpowered that it's literally broken the game, and it's half the reason people aren't enjoying it this year, because you can literally shoot from outside the box and it's better than working it in the box and scoring. Um, but yet again, I have to say it's a good game. I've put so many hours into it and I'm still playing it, so we can't really complain about it. But I do rage at it quite a lot, playing foot champs and that, playing it competitively. But it's it does deserve this spot because of the amount of hours, but it's just annoying because it's probably one of the worst games on this list. So we've got to the top 3. I really struggled on deciding which should be third, second and first, but coming in at number 3. So my number 3 is Marvel's Spider-Man. It is definitely one of the best games I've played this year. I loved the game all the way through. The only reason it comes in at number 3 and not 2 or 1 is because it felt a bit grindy every now and then. It like with the gang wars and that, I felt like they could have done something a bit more interesting. I felt with the collectibles they probably could have done a few more like Mary Jane missions just to make the game a little bit more different. But it was very good and I did enjoy the game very much. The bosses felt a little bit easy to beat, but it was nice that they introduced all these bosses in the game. There was a lot of enemies all the way through and the storyline was very good. DLC probably not worth picking up. I'm happy I played through it, but it wasn't that great, and I'm looking forward to what more Marvel games gonna be brought out. Because this was one of the best Marvel games I've played, and one of the best games I've ever played. Um, I'm looking forward to what films they bring out as well. The new Avengers Endgame, that will be probably the biggest film I've ever seen, and anyone probably would have seen. This game is definitely worth picking up, and even if you don't have a PS4, this game is worth buying a PS4 just for this game. Number 2. So coming in at number 2 is God of War. This is the best storyline game I've played this year. It's so good, and it's obviously got that iconic phrase of boy. Um, it's such a good game, definitely worth picking up. Again, like how I said with Spider-Man, this game is 100% worth just getting a PS4 for this game. It's so good. The mechanics in the game is nothing like any other game I've played. It was also the first ever God of War game I've played. The only reason I've not really touched God of War games is because I've never really had a PlayStation to play any of the games. Um, and the games never really interested me. I thought I wouldn't like these games, but playing this game, I've now played God of War 3, and I I absolutely love the games. The games are amazing. Um, it's this game for me should have deserved Game of the Year, but obviously people got their own opinions. But this game is definitely the best game I've played of the year. Interested if they're going to bring out another game to do with the storyline of this, because the way they ended it seemed quite good. I'm not going to spoil it for anyone, but it was very interesting how the game ended, and the storyline is the best, probably one of the best games I've ever played. Number 1. So my number 1 of 2019 is Just Dance 2019. It's a fantastic game. I couldn't believe how good it was. No, of course I'm joking. My actual number 1 of 2019 is Super Mario Party 2018. It's such a good game. We've had a lot of fun playing it with friends. We It's one of the games that we've been playing with friends for quite a long. We've had a lot of good nights. The only thing I do have against it is the maps are quite small, and you can no longer do 50 rounds on it. But saying that, we've managed to move around it, and instead of doing 50 rounds, we've done 50 rounds but on multiple maps. So we'll do 20 on one map, 20 on another map, and then 10 on the other map, and then the overall score wins. Um, but the reason this game is number 1 is because it's just such a simple game to sit down and play. Um, it's so easy to play with friends. Even if you're not good at games, you can probably win at this game. It The mini games all help if you win them, but then saying that, you can win the game with just luck on the board. Um, it's the mini games are really good on it. The actual boards are pretty good. Obviously, the only thing I'm disappointed with the boards are they're quite small. You've got online play this year, so you can play mini games against other people online, which is quite fun. You've also got the new mode where you all in a boat together, and you've got to try and compete together to win mini games to earn more time, and you've got to try get to the end of the lake. And there is also the rhythm mode, which is just very fun to play. But this game, hands down, just deserves number 1 just for having Waluigi in. The fact that they had Waluigi in this game is Game of the Year of 2018. So overall, let me know what you think of my top 10 games of 2018. I thought it was a pretty good year for games, and I'm looking forward to what this year brings. But if you want to know, let me know what your top 10 games are of the year. Write down in the comments, and write down any games that you think should have been in this list as well. But anyway, that's been your boy CP Wolf, and goodbye.